Welcome guys back to our channel. Really appreciate everybody that's been with Big Bite Performance this far, and thank you for subscribing, and all the comments are so positive. I really appreciate it. Now the greatest part about this is that the motor is in, and when the motor goes in, you know, we made final adjustments, especially to our custom engine mounts, and I must commend Mk1 for his amazing detail work on the motor. We're gonna change this water bottle, and then we got some ideas for the tappet cover. But for now, if you have a look at this is the theme that we're going with. So you can see the color of the car is red, black, and definitely the pearl white. Drop the motor in, she's balanced, she's level, everything is clean, everything's been painted accordingly and detailed. The mountings are all working, all the bolts have been polished and cleaned. There's a lot of more work that we can do, and we know that we can put a lot of more attention to detail on this motor, especially when it comes to wire tuck, because looking at the OEM harness, there are very important things to understand. Is the computer box, the fuse box, the ground positioning, the original OEM harness in the back here, you can see that's here. Then the ABS control unit, the pump as well, the aircon unit, all the sensors, the temp sensors, the water bottle sensor, the sensors, the lights, electronics, PDCs are still there, right? It's available. So there's, like, we separated them in different sections. So there's all your harnesses. What I'm thinking for long-term plan is, when we're ready to digress and start that process, is to cut this thick loom here. So you can see we neatly tucked it here on the side of our shock mount, and then we brought and reallocated our fuse box. Now the battery sits here on the original GTI, and we've made space for a nice pipe here to come, and we're showing off our gearbox, and we're showing off our starter motors there as well. Maybe then, I know we can drill a hole here into the fender wall, and we can actually put that loom, but that's going to require cutting and extension, and I don't want to go down that road, because if you look at the amount of wiring that's here and the amount of wiring, and we haven't had an issue yet. So I think at this stage is just neaten up things, make things neat so that we can function, and the car drives and the car starts and she doesn't give much errors. And I don't want to go down that road for this season, and maybe in the next season, next year, I think we can look at a complete wire tuck. And the complete wire tuck has been hiding the main harness here, extending all the other wires across into I can take it in the back of the firewall, I can drill another hole in that firewall, I can bring it in the back of this shock well, and here into the water bottle, into all the sensors underneath here. But some things like this here, you can see the OEM loom. See how nice this goes in here? This all connects into here, so that all looks nice and pretty. And some of the piping also looks very pretty. The aircon pipe unit also looks, bring the aircon piping, I've seen it somewhere, the aircon piping. This also looks very nice and pretty. I actually won't lie to you, I like this, This aircon piping actually looks very, very, very nice. So there's a lot of things that can be done in time, and I don't think one can push for those type of critical decisions right now at this stage. But for what the engine looks like, and for the time executed on this motor, and also what I really enjoyed was last night, I'm not gonna lie guys, I was extremely fatigued, but I enjoyed the patience. We took as much time as possible to put this motor in level, and to make sure every bolt could be hand put in. You know, when a bolt can be put in with your hand, then you know that's a good positive attribute. So when we roll this motor in, we got it in, we tried not to scratch the chassis legs, we try not to scratch anything here. And I think you become so crucial and patient, and you slowly move, and you creep and you creep and you creep and you creep and you creep. I'll show you some of the videos. They made me do the jacking, the pulling, and Kireshan was doing the mounting, and it was such a lekker emotional feeling. We only finished at 3:30, 4:45 this morning, because we had to route some wiring. And if you know, the last 3 nights, I have to show you all this, is we spent, thank you so much, we spent hours and hours, and I'm very meticulous when it comes to wiring because I'm a sound guy. So I also spent, and there's 4 stages in this interior. So I don't know if we can bring this car down a little bit, to bring the car a little bit down for me, so we can come see this side here. So we're going to clean up our shocks. I want to tell you all about the interior and all the wiring and everything that got done on the inside, and that took about, I won't lie, it took about 2 to 3 days. 2, 3 in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning, thank you. And so if you can just snug the camera here, I'll come around that side there. Have a look down there. So if you guys see here, what we have here is now the base coat. So remember, this floor has Dynamat. So we've Dynamated the entire floor. And then on top of the Dynamat, you can see everyone's laughing at me. I got the dog carpet. So that's the dog carpet there. And then we took the wiring loom, and I'm sure you guys want to try and see that, and I don't know how we're going to get our camera guy. Okay, we can show you here. So if you look at these things here, for example, you can see that these little guys here, this is what we use to actually mount our looms in. So they actually got rubbers around them. So I personally did this myself. I'm confident that all the wiring in the interior is nice, so I spent time here and wired everything neatly behind these carpets, and then cut this carpet up with my team, with Fleddy. I won't lie to you, you guys have been checking Magic Socks, as he's been posting, and we cut this original GTI carpet and molded it as best as possible for this, considering that it's got the original door, the seat harness is here as well. Inside your seat harness is here. It's still got all the other components of the harness is all here. Now, something really cool you can see on this corner here. Can we pull that plastic out? Sorry man guys, I'm sniffing because it freaking was cold, and so the aircon box is in there. Now, you know how pretty that looks. For me, I don't think you'll understand what's behind there. So behind there, if you'll know, the Golf 7 got the fuse box in this angle, right? And then you'll know that behind the fuse box is the control module. It's the module box. The one main harness connects to that, and then the rear, the internal harness connects to the rest of the car. Now that we broke all the plastics off it, we cut them out neatly, and we actually freed the computer the main box, and freed the fuse box to snug in the dash knee brace. That was a nightmare, because without damaging any wires and everything, you can't see much there. So someone can sit in here, stretch their legs, but behind there, I've actually got all the wiring, and the box is actually sitting and hiding in the back there. And there's so much wiring that's neatly braced throughout, even the back there by the accelerator pedal. There's neat bracing here. And the wire goes all the way here to the back, to the lights. And if you can see, this is our fuel wiring as well here, and that's our fuel module as well. So that was an exciting task. It takes a lot of time, and you can't rush something like this. I realized when thank God that we drove this car. That meant a lot, because if we didn't take this wiring and put it in 2 to 3 times, I think it would have been a guessing game. This wasn't so much a guessing game. We knew where the hell the wire is going to go. We knew exactly how it was going to go. Another massive thing was integrating the original door modules, and all the original module from the G7 is in these doors. So in these doors we have the original harness that's going to now be cut and put there into our main harness. Back here it looks like a mumble jumble, but it's fine. We got our air suspension just lying around. We have a cool lithium battery here by Victron SA. Have a look at that Victron SA lithium battery. Now we've been using the Storm batteries to get the car up and running and starting, and that was like our prep batteries, and now we've upgraded to the lithium battery for the actual day, and we're going to see how they're going to connect the DC component to that. The sound will be coming in later, and overall guys, this experience, oh, we got one more issue. So the sunroof, I got to cut, and Kireshan's got to do that. We got to cut the sunroof wire. So just grab that wire there, Mark, the wire there, the one there from the sunroof. Harness. Yeah, that harness, that has to be cut, and actually the other one as well, there's one hanging there by your hand. It has to be rooted. That has to be rooted. We were going to put it in the drain. See the drain? Point the drain there. There's a drain there. We're going to run it through the drain, and we're going to cut it and actually join it so that the pods can go in there, because the freaking module is big. So there has been some cutting here. I'll give you honest, we have extended some wires, but we've been very successful. So the sunroof is giving me some stress when it comes to the extension of the wiring, and overall she looks neater. The car's taking shape. I'm really impressed with the motor. I must admit, the way it looks in this car, it looks nice. And if you guys have any other comments about this process here, please hit it up. GT7 loading.